Hey guys, this is Mr. C. Just checking in again here. So we've wrapped up basically where we started talking about circular patterns. Wrapped up with this plate here. We made a whole bunch of little circles around it. So this is for part two basically of CLP number 9 and number 10. First step is to make this tire. If you scroll down, it gives you the dimensions. And then just for the sake of time for this video, I don't want it to be 25 minutes long. I kind of pre-drew a lot of this stuff with dimensions. So if you ever get lost on where I got these numbers from, it's just a lot of subtraction from this overall 1.65. But if you can't figure it out, just email your teacher. They should be able to help you out here. So I'm going to stop this sketch. I just wanted to show you what it looked like before I got to extruding. At this point, it asks you to extrude, if you look at the place, it asks you to extrude at 0.4 symmetrically in two different directions. So if I extrude, the first thing it does is ask me to extrude this piece along with this inner rectangle here. And make sure you do that, again, in symmetric form. And the distance is 0.4. No degree, nothing like that. New body, and you press OK. Now it's pretty simple. You're going to have your piece. It's really important that you do symmetry, and I'm going to tell you guys why in a minute here, but make sure you have this symmetry kind of selected. And that just means it extrudes the same direction or same distance in two different directions. So if I keep going down, it gives you more dimensions. It also shows you where this axis is coming through the tire. That's important because that's where we're going to revolve circular pattern around that axis. It's the x-axis in this case. So basically, it's going to try and make you do that. Now, it's a little different in this. So again, this is why we're doing it through the browser version, just so you guys can see it. So I'm going to go down to pattern, create pattern, circular pattern in this case. I'm going to select the face. The bottom face is more than enough. It'll actually attract the other ones, but I always like to click all three sides and you're good to go. So the axis is what you need to select next. And in this case, like I was just showing you, it's going to rotate around that x-axis. If I scroll around, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. This piece will wrap around this many, how many ever times it tells you. So it says 15 in this case. So how many? 15. Quantity. Press OK. It'll automatically join to those pieces, and you'll have your revolved 15 times around. One thing you're going to see here is that they have this little like bevel. Doesn't really tell you, and if it does, I didn't see it, but I'm going to make it 0.01, and that's why we made the symmetry in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and press extrude again. That piece is not going to show up unless I press that sketch back on. So I'm going to press and this as well as, it doesn't matter because that's already drawn. And we're going to go again symmetrically. 0.01, I say, looks pretty good. And I'm not going to cut this. We're going to join that piece together with the others. Press OK, and you'll have your groove in the center there. Again, make sure you guys hit shaded if you want it to make it look almost identical. You can't change the color in the browser version. Obviously, if you guys have messed with before, you can change it in the desktop version. So that's a tire. Next one is a rectangle that we're making a rectangular pattern for. And if I go into that sketch, it looks something like this. It's a 6x4, pretty straightforward stuff. And then they locate the circle. I just drew a random circle that was, as you can see, 0.3. So I'm going to actually change that. I didn't put that in there. It's 0.35. 0.3, press enter, and now I have the same size. So I can stop that sketch, and I'm going to extrude the two different profiles that you see here, the circle as well as the rectangle. It says to make it a 1/2 inch thick, so I'm going to go ahead and press distance, 0.5 thickness. It's a new body, press OK. Make sure you turn that second sketch on again so that we can see it, so we can manipulate it a little bit. And I'm actually going to go back into this extrusion. I'm going to make it negative so that it goes in the opposite direction so that we can see that sketch on top and we're not messing with all that madness. See, now it's on top. So I can extrude again. Now it's just that little profile just to have that kind of stick out a little bit, and you can change that again to 0.5. Press OK. And now you have this knob basically. Now what you're going to do is you're going to make a rectangular pattern up and down, and you're going to make 6 across and 4 up at 1 inch apart. The way you do that is you go to pattern again, rectangular pattern, faces, make sure you just, it's automatic faces, don't select bodies. Move that out of the way. Press that face. Directions, we're going to want to go in this direction as well as, and I'll do one at a time. Move the arrow so that it doesn't, so it tells you which one we're moving, and in this case it's the first one. Up, we want it to go 4 up, and we want it to go -1 because we want it in that distance and that direction. Make sure before you even punch those in, I product of my own mistake here, but press spacing. That'll space it out using this distance. 6 across for this bottom part, and the next basically direction we want to go is this bottom edge. So we want it to go in this Y direction, this X direction. Same thing, 1 inch here is the spacing. And then when I press OK, now I have basically all of them all at once. So it scrolls down, that's what it says. Again, it doesn't really show how thick to make this little knob, and I made mine 0.5. Looks like theirs is like 0.25, half the distance. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get the point, the rectangular part across here. Scroll down, we're going to skip this plate, and now we're going to do a spline. Spline is going to be fun because we're going to make it sweep actually using a spline. So I'm going to go to New Sketch. I'm going to select just any surface here. And again, you can make 3 separate sketches. There's 3 separate designs. I'm just doing it all in one for the sake of time. First thing you want to do is kind of create a spline. If you go to 3-point arch, this is a line. Let's see if we can actually even do what they're asking. We can't. So what we're going to have to do is, sorry about that. Usually you could be able to do spline and it'd be a lot cleaner, but that's okay. We're gonna fudge this a little bit. So I'm going to press escape, and I'm going to do 3-point arc. I'm going to go 1, 2, and how much I want it to bend. I want to make this look pretty clean, so we're going to see how. And the sizes, if you look at this, there's no, it's just to say draw a center in a circle and then make this. There is a IPT, we're not giving it to you. So just do the best you can, guys. Just make this look as cool as possible. So I'm trying to draw this profile just first. Let's get that out of the way. Go a little bit past here. And now I'm going to do 3-point arc again from here to a little past. And that here. Another line. Go about even here. 3-point arc from here to a little over. Make those look almost the same. About here. Another line, go down. And again, there's no measurements to this. This is all just making it look pretty. So I have this piece now. Here's the tricky part. You're gonna offset a plane so that it is on this portion, and as you can see, it kind of looks like it's floating. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop this sketch, and I'm going to try and find and offset this plane. So construct offset plane. What plane? This plane, this bottom one, and we want it to project to be at the same height as that, or close to it, very close to it. So I'm going to rotate this around, and we're going to pull this up about, let's say, here. And what I'm doing is making sure that it's past this first little part here. So I can press OK, and you can see this little orange piece right here is over here. Now, I know it looks like it's way over there. It doesn't matter because it goes all the way across. As long as we draw the circle on this plane, we're okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do New Sketch. I'm going to find that plane that I just made, which is basically automatic. I'm going to stop that real quick. Go back, delete this sketch. So I have a, excuse me, origin constructions right here. So here's my construction. I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to go to sketch, and I'm going to select that plane that I just turned on, and you can see it kind of whips it around. Totally fine. Top, and if you look back and forth, you're looking at this dot right here is what we want to make a little circle on. So I'm going to go back to top. There's only one over there. It makes it kind of easy by itself. I'm going to draw a little circle, not too big, right around it, say around there. And as you can see, it's going to be on that line. going to press Stop Sketch, and I'm going to go to Sweep, and I want to sweep that profile along this path. Do all these, and as I select each one of these things, each one of these lines, arcs, whatever they are, it'll start filling in and following that circle along that path. So we're going to say new body, press OK. And again, no measurements, just kind of eyeballed it. Mine are a little farther apart, but you can go back and adjust them if you want to be nitpicky. But that's it. That's your sweep. Beyond, and it says right here, like checking beyond and going beyond. Ignore all this kind of stuff. All you need are these three for this part 2. Thanks for watching, guys.